What am I in today? I'm in a Cadillac, a CT5 actually, and I can't help but notice how quiet this car is. It's funny. Funny how? How is it funny? Not a lot of people know the history of Cadillac. There's a lot of it. I mean, a lot of it. Who drives a Cadillac these days? Who's driving a Cadillac? I don't know. But when you think about it, Cadillac actually began in 1902. It was started by 3 guys, and one of those guys in particular, his name was Henry Leland. Henry Leland was pretty badass, really brilliant guy, really understood engineering, and what made the company was something that he thought was really something every car should be able to do, and that was have interchangeable parts. It was kind of a new idea to be able to pull into some shop where someone could order a part and put it on your vehicle without having to fit it in a certain way. You see, before all this manufacturing stuff, people were building cars kind of by hand, and if you had to repair something, you not only needed a mechanic, which didn't really exist, but you also needed like a metal fabricator to make a part that probably wasn't designed to your car to make it fit. So, this Leland fella, this guy, he started Cadillac from the remnants of the Ford Motor Company. Funny. How is it funny? Actually, aside from Buick, Cadillac is the second oldest brand in North America. And after they became Cadillac, which actually the name comes from a guy by the name of Antoine de Cadillac. Gesundheit, he's a Frenchman. And that French guy, he actually founded the city of Detroit. And that's where Cadillac gets its crest from. It's actually the family crest of Antoine de Cadillac. Kind of funny when you think about it. Tell me how it's funny. At any rate, one of the things that I find kind of interesting about that is not only did Leland end up starting Cadillac because he was such a genius, he started a company after Cadillac when he sold it to General Motors. Guess what company that was? Lincoln. That's why you started Lincoln and Cadillac. Gangsta. Yeah, Lincoln. This guy started Lincoln as well, but was later bought by Henry Ford after he got back on his feet. He actually kind of lowballed the offer after his company went insolvent. But at any rate, really great history with these cars. And that's what I always go back to with Cadillac, is the history. Incredible history, incredible company, and incredible cars. I mean, there's so much about Cadillacs that you gotta love. I just think a lot of times people overlook the vehicles in general. How do they overlook them? Again, a lot of really great product out there. But a lot of that product is centered around some things that Cadillac, I would say, is a better example of. One of those things, technology. Let's start with tech. What does Cadillac do for tech? Well, actually, Cadillac does a lot of tech. Magnetic rides, night vision. Those were things that Cadillac came out with long time ago. Ended up sharing that technology with people like Ferrari and all that kind of stuff. I think there's a lot of people who know a lot of German brands that they really like who wouldn't even think to come and test drive a Cadillac. But you really need to test drive a Cadillac because I think it's one of the most overlooked brands in North America right now. Cadillac is one of those cars that, oddly enough, competes against other vehicles that say they're exclusive when clearly, well, if exclusivity has something to do with the amount of them sold, well, if you want something exclusive, you should buy a Cadillac. You're probably not going to park beside someone else in a CT5 when you head over to that party or to that event. It's definitely one of those vehicle brands that I think is really up for a resurgence. I think there's a lot of people who need to look at Cadillac because they do want exclusivity, they do want technology, and they want a great looking interior. I mean, the interior on this Cadillac is gorgeous. A lot of people don't really think about a Cadillac as having a great interior, and I mean, and why would you? Because maybe you didn't really have anything to represent that interior, but I mean, the interior of this car is just absolutely exceptional. I love where they place everything. I love that I have 2 volume knobs. I can use the one on the dash or the passenger can, but as the driver, I have one just sort of sitting down here right by my hand so I can just, raise and lower the volume whenever I want, which I really like. I had it in a former vehicle and I miss it every time when I want to just adjust volume and just barely move my hand from its sort of resting position right here, which I really quite like. The CT5 is a fantastic car all the way around. I mean, by 5, I would say think 5 to 3 series BMW, or maybe C to E class Mercedes-Benz, or maybe A5, A6, but it's sort of in between there. You'd have to get into one and drive one. I mean, but loads of rooms for 4, 5 actually. And of course, tons of trunk space. Yeah, you could fit like 3 bodies in there. So if you want to get something and get something different, get something that you probably won't park beside in a parking lot, you're probably better off getting a Cadillac. After all, it is the Cadillac of cars. I really got to thank the folks at Applewood for letting me use this CT5 today. Really enjoyed driving the vehicle, and I really got to say, for those of you out there who've never driven a Cadillac, do get in touch with the folks over at Applewood. I think you're going to be super surprised and super impressed by the vehicles in general. Loads of standard equipment, lots of great tech, and lots of great design features. I think it really is a gorgeous car, and something that actually, just getting out of it close to my door, my neighbor said, "Hey, which Cadillac is that?" Yeah, Cadillac. Take a look. You might be surprised what you see.